Let's make some weird sounds. Today I'm gonna show you how to do this. Also, disclaimer, not the visualizer aspect, just the audio. We're just going to make the weird, funky audio today. So I'll show you how to do that, and then you can go make your own sounds, too. And if you don't want to do that, you can download all the sounds that we make today on my Patreon. Link to that in the description if you want it. Let's get into how to do this. Also, just a little disclaimer, you're going to want a nice saturator in this whole process. Ableton has some great options. You got saturator, overdrive, distortion filters in the auto filter that are pretty sweet. You could use pedal. But I myself today will be using the J37. If you have the J37, whip it out. If you don't, maybe consider getting it. It's a great plugin. But that is what I will be using today for my saturation. So just wanted to make that clear. Okay, first things first, let's go to our instruments and drag a wavetable onto a MIDI track. And let's pick some random wave shapes. Formant, that one's cool. And then we'll turn the second oscillator on. We'll go to distortion. JN60 bitter. Okay, make the amp look like this. Just a basic fat note. And we'll type something in on C3, hit legato. So now we got a bar of this. Cool. Actually, we're going to bring that down to C1. Yeah. That's good. Now we're going to blindly automate a bunch of parameters, but there are a few important parameters to note. This slider here, we're going to map that randomly on both of these waves. So let's right-click the first one, Show Automation. We're going to turn off the grid and press B on our keyboard, which enables us to just draw in random automation. We're also going to turn Linked off and shorten the bar to, well, actually, before we turn off the grid, let's keep it on so we can shorten the bar to something random but still on the grid. Then we'll turn the grid off again and just put in some random automation. Nice. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other oscillator wave position. Show automation, linked off, turn on the grid just to get a random selection, turn off the grid, draw in some random automation. Cool, cool. Sounding pretty neat. Let's randomly automate the filter. I'll just leave this one at a bar. Doing the same thing for the resonance. And then let's randomly edit the transpose too. We're getting some clippage, but that's okay. We will handle that soon. Yeah. We could be using the Matrix to do all this, but I like doing it in the MIDI clip. Okay, so now comes the fun part. We're going to saturate this sucker. Like I said, J37, bang, right after it. It's really simple what we're going to do. We're going to slam the input and reduce the output equally by 18 decibels. So just switch those. Now it's 18 decibels in and 18 decibels compensated for the output. Should sound like this. It dips the overall volume quite a bit. So you can put a utility afterwards and bump it, 5 decibels. And that is the end of the beginning of this process. Now we're going to add a bunch of effects, and this is when your personality gets infused into the mix and you get to have all the fun in the world. So let's get started. We got this. And we're going to drag some effects before the distortion. If we put effects after the distortion, they won't affect the distortion. Do you understand what I'm saying? We want these kind of resonant filters that we're going to apply in here to fuck with the distortion. So let's see. See that? How it's reacting with saturation? This is signal flow basics, but some people might not realize this. Whereas, see, if we put it after, it's a cleaner effect. But we want mud, we want dirt, we want grime, we want insanity. So I'm going to do the same thing, show automation, and maybe this time instead of drawing it in, we'll just input it like this. Cool. Drag an echo in. This is where you can start really having a good time. I don't know, maybe if you drag a utility in, hit Command G, and map the gain to macro 1, you can map the max gain to 0. And then you can go in and automate this, show automation, and keep it at 0, and then just input random dips. Yeah. And I'm going to put this before the delay. Sounding pretty sick. I'm just going to clean it up with some EQ. I'm going to break the rules and use Pro Q. Bang. So now our job is to freeze and flatten this. And if we want to do all this again, a quick hack, you can drag the audio file into a new area over here, and it will duplicate the track with all of the automation and everything while we still have this original one. Okay, so let's do that. Once again, I'll hit Command Z to show you again. Just drag it over, duplicates on its own. You don't have to hold Command or Controller Option or anything. And then let's right-click the clip and hit Freeze Track. The clip is frozen. Let's flatten it. There we go. And depending on how you set up your unlinked automation to loop, it'll create a really long loop until it matches up again at the end. But I don't really care about any of that. I'm just going to select a random selection from the middle, hit Command L, and then crop it. Now it's cropped. Now I'm going to drag this into arrangement view. And I'm going to select it, hit Command J. This consolidates it, and it says it's at negative 15 decibels. I want it at negative 6. So I just type that in, hit Command J again. Now we have rendered this audio file at negative 6 decibels. We're going to right-click it and show it in browser. There it is. And I'm going to drag this over into my folder where I have other sounds of this variety. And we're going to name it Neural Video Mode. And as you can see, I have some other things here. I have a whole bunch of sounds that I made the same exact way, and these are the sounds that you will be able to find on my Patreon if you want to go grab them. So yeah, that's how you do it. Let's rinse and repeat and do one more before the video's done. This one I won't talk during. I'm just going to go for it, and you can kick back, relax, and follow along. Do it with me, or you can stop watching the video now, in which case, I love you. Bye. See you later. Okay, let's go. Then you can chop these sounds up, use them as drums, you can put them into granulators and get even stranger sounds out of them. Yeah, weird noise galore. And yeah, thanks for checking this one out. Quick little video, not super editing intensive, allows me to get more videos to you guys more often. Once again, all these sounds are available on my Patreon if you want to go just download them and mess about. $4 a month, you get this sound pack and tons of other stuff. Yeah, thanks for stopping by. Subscribe, like the video, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one.